Bill O'Brien strikes again. Bill O'Brien just traded a third-round pick for corner Gareon Conley from the Oakland Raiders. Now, earlier today, I dropped a video regarding the corner situation on who we should trade for. Well, that video, I made it private because, obviously, we already made a trade for a corner, so, there's no point of leaving that video up. That video just dropped today, and in that video, if you're one of the few people that got to watch it, Gareon Conley wasn't someone I was looking out for. I didn't think the Raiders would make him available. I didn't think the Raiders were one of the teams that were selling, but I guess the blowout loss to the Packers made them change their mind. But I love it. I love that Bill O'Brien traded for Gareon Conley. I think Gareon Conley fits well here in Houston. Now, Gareon Conley, he's 24 years old. He's under contract for the rest of this year, obviously. Next year, and since he was a former first-round pick, you could put the fifth-year option on him, so you technically have 2.5 years of control of Gareon Conley. And Conley in Oakland, from what I'm hearing, he's been inconsistent. Now, it's easy to see why he's been inconsistent. One, it's simple scheme fit. Gareon Conley, coming out of college, he was known as a man corner, a guy who excels at man coverage. In Oakland, he's been playing a whole lot of zone coverage, and that's not really playing to his strengths. Here in Houston, obviously, he'll be playing man coverage. The Texans love to play man coverage. The Texans want to play man coverage. So, Gareon Conley can do that for us. And another reason why I think Conley has been struggling in Oakland is because the Raiders have absolutely no pass rush. Literally. They traded Khalil Mack last year. Last year they had like 9 sacks. This year, they're slightly better, but yeah, the Raiders have no pass rush, so in my opinion, it's pretty unfair to expect a defensive back to cover for a long time if the pass rush isn't getting home, So I think here in Houston, playing man coverage, a whole change of scenery, and actually having players up front that can rush the passer, they're really going to help Gareon Conley turn into the player that he was supposed to be coming out of Ohio State. And that's a straight up lockdown, shut down number 1 corner. I absolutely love this trade. I love it. For a third-round pick, for a player like Gareon Conley, who has such a high ceiling, I love it. He's 24. He's fast. He's 6 feet tall, so he's not, like 5'10" or anything. He can straight up guard number 1 receivers. When Roby comes back, Roby and Gareon Conley, you could extend Roby after the season. And then you got Lonnie Johnson, Roby, and Gareon Conley locking down for you for the next few years. I absolutely love this trade by Bill O'Brien. Now, I know there's going to be some people that are going to be like, what? We traded away another pick? That's not an issue. Because obviously, we already know that we're trading away a third-round pick. Well, our 4th-round pick that we traded for Duke Johnson is going to turn into a 3rd-round pick. And then we essentially traded the Jadeveon Clowney 3rd-round pick for Gareon Conley. Keep in mind, we're going to get another 3rd-round pick for Tyrann Mathieu, the comp pick. And it is rumored that we're also going to get another one for Kareem Jackson. So technically, we didn't really lose much in this trade. Now, the Raiders, they got rid of a young player, a player that wasn't a scheme fit. I mean, I guess it's a win-win for both teams, but I really feel like in this trade, the Texans came away with a huge W. And something interesting that I find about this all is we play the Raiders next week. That's interesting. That's similar to how when we traded for Demaryius Thomas and we played the Broncos, that following week. I find that, pretty funny, but hey, man, gotta give O'Brien his credit. He saw a huge need. It was a need regardless of injuries, and he went and got a guy who can be a short-term solution and a long-term solution because he is 24. So now, heading into the draft next year, the Texans can literally draft best player available. Unless, of course, they decide to not re-sign Roby or whatever. But really, if you look at the Texans roster right now, what are their needs? Like, assuming they re-sign Roby, what are their needs? Just backup depth players. Literally, the Texans don't have many needs unless you want to count running back. But I think the Texans should re-sign Carlos Hyde to like a 2-year deal and tie him and Duke Johnson together for 2 more years. Because I like the duo of Carlos Hyde and Duke Johnson. So, look at this Texans team, man. We're stacked. I love it, love it, love it, love it, love it. So happy. Wasn't expecting the Texans to make a trade this soon. But, hey, O'Brien came through, man. GM O'Brien's the real deal. But yeah, that's pretty much all I have for you guys for today. Be sure to like, subscribe, and comment down below your own opinions on this Gareon Conley trade. And yeah, appreciate you guys for watching, and I'll catch you guys later. Peace.